Back in the day, entertainment was simple. You sat down and you watched TV. So we had these things called channels. Each channel does a specific thing they did. For example, the kitchen channel had kitchen shows, the history channel had history shows, the music channel had music shows, and the movie channel had movie shows. These channels hated each other because the second one of them got boring, the viewer would change to a competitor. The rivalry was brutal. There was Nickelodeon versus Cartoon Network, Discovery Channel versus Nat Geo, Comedy Central versus the news. It was nuts. In response to this, each network was working on their own method to stay ahead of the pack, like having comedy every few seconds to trap the viewer, stopping for an ad break at a climax to make the viewer sit through ads, or having an upwards of 20 episodes per season to avoid constant reruns, which everyone knows are the kryptonite to viewership. It was literally survival of the fittest, where the epic shows thrived and the garbage shows got iced. The system is one that supplied us with bangers like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Dora the Explorer, The Office, Squirrel and Hedgehog, Tom and Jerry, and Scooby-Doo. It was pretty much perfect. Cable, illegal streaming, internet, discs. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the internet nation attacked. Yeah, this piece of work stumbled onto the scene. Suddenly the meta was broken. People were bamboozled when they could suddenly watch what seemed like every single show or movie in existence whenever and wherever they want. I have to admit, at the time Netflix sounded like the piece de resistance of entertainment, the final form of TV. There's a certain power in being able to go to the toilet and watch a movie with your phone instead of posing your TV like a mere serf. It makes you feel invincible. Ultimate power for $8.99. It seemed too good to be true, literally superior to cable in every single way. It was cheaper than cable, it had more options than cable, it was freer than cable, it had less cables than cable, and it had no ads, unlike cable. Yeah, without a doubt we were being tricked, and like all good cons, it took a while for the victim to realize they were being conned. Imagine if Donutflix offered you 15,000 donuts for $8.99 a month. At a glance, it seems like the deal of a lifetime. If you ate a donut a day, it would take you about 41 years to finish your stash. That's 2.85 million calories at the lower bound. I repeat, at the lower bound. But oh wait, once you buy your hallowed donuts, you find that about half of them are flavor you don't like, rendering half of them useless. No skin off your back though, you still have 7,500 donuts, a bunch. Then you start off by eating all the best donuts. Then wait a second, you finish the best donuts. Whoa, you didn't see that coming. And now you're left with a bunch of trashy donuts that hurt to eat. It's the first law of thermodynamics, boys. You can't have your cake and eat it too. The only thing worse than that is the ability to binge. Humans can't handle that power. So the second a good show comes out, it gets absorbed like lasagna in a piranha tank. It's painful. Then you have to wait an additional month for the next decent show to come out, which you again consume in 1 to 3 days. It's such a problem that Disney Plus releases the episodes weekly. Weekly! Hey, but at least you don't have ads. It doesn't help that a vicious feedback loop spawned itself because of this. Let's imagine ourselves in the position of a streaming service. They're thinking how they can stop their customers from getting restless and unsubscribing. Well, there are two options. They can either make their series longer so the viewer takes more time to watch them, or they can make their series shorter so they can churn them out quicker. Actually, you already know what they did, because these days we get 6 to 12 episodes per season. 6 to 12. You know why? Because if they make smaller shows, they can make a greater amount of them, to increase the chance of at least one of them succeeding. In response to this, people will say, actually, the only thing Netflix and other streaming services do is cut out meaningless filler, making their seasons more concise. Well, if you thought about it for a second instead of running your mouth, you would deduce that this isn't reducing filler. Reducing filler would be converting filler episodes to non-filler episodes, while streaming services clearly just annihilate the whole freaking episode. Cable actually had to put effort into making their shows, because if the competing channels had more episodes than them, the competing channels would have less reruns, and the viewer would move to the channel that had less reruns. So they had to put their blood, sweat, and tears into making a good season with more than 20 episodes. And don't get me started on all the different streaming services either. There's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Peacock, there's Tidal, there's Crackle, there's Crunchyroll, there's Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, Showmax, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus, Apple TV Plus, Sling TV, IMDb TV, YouTube TV, and I could go on. It's insane. Now I have to go to Netflix if I want to watch any Netflix originals, HBO Max if I want to watch any HBO originals, Disney Plus if I want to watch anything Marvel, Crunchyroll if I want to watch my anime, Amazon Prime Video if I want to watch any Prime originals. Pick your poison. Because one month you see Netflix is dominating the industry, but then the next month Amazon Prime releases a chain of good shows, but then Disney Plus releases a new Marvel series that everyone is suddenly talking about. I'm not even gonna talk about the added costs of region blocks and VPNs. What's more is that the competition isn't even making the content better, because there are only two things a streaming service has to do to make absolute buck. It has to draw you into its service, and it has to do the bare minimum to keep you subscribed. Because once you pay for the subscription, BAM! You're locked in for the month. They've got your cash, they don't care about you anymore. You're now inside their ecosystem, and they're virtually competing against themselves. Cable had to make each individual show good because the merest fluctuation in amusement can cost them big money in ads. But when you're a dang subscriber for the whole month, it just isn't logistical to keep switching, while streaming services couldn't care less if you're bored out of your mind as long as you keep supplying them with your hard-earned cheddar. But if you're dying to join a group that's difficult to leave, I'd recommend joining the Mafia or Apple. You know, there was only one winner of the streaming wars. At the end of the day, there's only one who came out on top. Only one who against all odds survives and continues to command the industry while supplying beautiful content to its many viewers. And one that I wholeheartedly endorse to my fans. That champion is illegal streaming.